Hey guys, welcome to another World of Warcraft video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing the Christmas event. It's going to be a bit of a lengthy video, so I am going to be time-stamping stuff, so go to the description if you're after something in particular, and if not, I hope you enjoy the full video. We're going to start with the eggs. If you are needing gold for whatever reason, this is a great way to make some gold during the holidays. If you're Alliance, the best place to farm eggs is Dolinar, and if you're Horde, the best place to farm eggs is Mulgore. Also worth noting that if you are Alliance, there are other places you can go to. Westfall is another, but the reason I'm highlighting Dolinar is because I feel Dolinar just has more birds out in the area that are like one after another, whereas Westfall you really have to fly out to the next one. But here, as you can see in the video, they're literally like, you know, a step apart, so you don't really have to go far, which in turn equals more eggs in a quicker amount of time. So while there are other areas that you can go to, this is by far the best area. But, you know, if you don't want to come out here, you could pretty much go to any area that has birds in it. The ones I like to target out in Teldrassil here is the Strigid Owl. They have a hugely high drop chance. You will get, like, it's 90% drop chance that an egg will drop. So yeah, if you just farm those, you'll have a ton of eggs in no time. And the best way to do it is to auction off like 5 at a time, because that's how many people will buy. Because there's the quest that you do for the gingerbread cookies that you hand into Great Grandfather Winter, and yeah, all you need is 5 eggs total to do that quest. So that is the way you want to do it. I wouldn't go slapping down, you know, 1 or 20. Personally, I would only sell in batches of 5. The reason for that is no one's gonna buy single eggs, right? Because you need 5 for the quest. And very few would probably buy a stack of eggs, because you only do the quest once through the event. That particular quest is not a daily. The quest is from Great Grandfather Winter, which I'm showing you a picture here. He is easy to spot. Just go to Ironforge. He's literally right beside the mailbox. Forge. But the one for him, it's 1 time per character per event. So unless you have a bunch of alts that you also want to do that quest with, it just isn't a daily. So that is why you sell in batches of 5, because the typical person is just going to do it the once. And honestly, if they're going to do it on the alts, they'll probably just buy 5 eggs on their alts anyway when they log on, because the auction house is literally right across the way of the quest giver. So in my personal opinion, as a purchaser, I wouldn't even spend the time mailing off the eggs. I would just go purchase another 5. There's never going to be a dry spell of eggs in the auction house. And it's probably going to be pretty competitive over there. A lot of people know about this strategy because it's not new. It's a strategy I have been using since like a long time. I would say at least 10 years. I've been using this strategy. So just keep your eyes on the auction, and you may have your stuff coming back to you quite frequently because of people undercutting you. So next up, this is the other quest that you can do. Really easy quest. This is the one that gets you a lot of the goodies from past years. Every year on the 25th, you can collect a special gift. And if you've missed out on that day or that year, then it becomes a rare gift in future years. So that is what this quest is good for. It gets you those goodies that you might have missed out on, and there's also a couple of extra toys that weren't part of other years that are added into the mix as well. Some patterns. The patterns drop so frequently, so high chance you'll end up with a ton of those patterns. And as for this quest, just in case you didn't see where I flew out to, you'll take the quest in Ironforge, then hit up the flight path, and you will take the flight path to Chillwind. If you are Horde, then you will... basically what I did is I took the quest in Ogrimmar on Horde side, then I went and hit up the Silver Moon portal, and then there's the portal for Undercity, and then I just kind of flew out to Brill, and from Brill, because Brill's right outside of Undercity, and then from Brill I flew out to Terranmill, which is in Hillsbrad, and then it's a really quick flight to the quest. It sounds like a bit of a process on Horde side, but honestly, Horde side gets there quicker because of the porting, and then the flight from Brill to Hillsbrad is super quick. So it sounds long, but it's actually a shorter travel on Horde side than it is Alliance. And of course, for Alliance, it's just pretty much a straight path. So for Alliance, we're going to Chillwind Camp, which is in Western Plaguelands. And then you just fly over to Alterac Mountain. And then for this quest, you technically don't have to kill the mob that spawns, but obviously if he spawns, help out and kill. But the reason I say that is if you get there and the reindeer is still there, all you gotta do is quickly click on the reindeer before he despawns, and then click on the goodies that are at the side, the stolen gifts or whatever, and that's all you have to do. Technically, the reason you gotta kill the mob that comes out is because that's when the reindeer comes out, when you kill him. So yeah, if he's dead and the reindeer is out there, just quickly click on the reindeer, grab your gifts, and then hearth out. But if the reindeer isn't there, then yeah, wait for Buddy to spawn so that you can kill him and the reindeer comes out. And if someone else clicks the reindeer, it'll just count for you as well. So you don't have to click the reindeer if someone else already did. And they don't have to be in a group. Like the minute someone clicks on the reindeer, it will just complete that portion of the quest for you. And then, of course, once your quest is done, you can just hearth back however you want to get back to Ironforge. For Alliance, just get back to Borealis, and there's an Ironforge portal right in the Borealis portal room. And for Horde, you have things really easy. You can just hearth to your Dalaran, your Legion Dalaran, or whichever one, and it's always the Ogrimmar portal that's there. So yeah, Horde definitely has some super fast travel when it comes to the Christmas event. Or there's also the option, if you are farming and you know you're going to be doing this every day, you could just set your hearths to Ironforge till the end of the Christmas event. I don't bother because really it's only an extra couple of minutes to use portals and get to Ironforge, so I just don't see it, You know, if it was like some hugely long flight, then maybe, but it's really only a few minutes. Okay, so there are a lot of things you can actually get from this event. In attempts of not making this video too terribly long, I'm just going to list them out rather than, adding pictures of every single one. And, that's just going to end up being long. So as you can see, I've been doing the event for a long time. So I have a lot of the stuff. You can see a lot of already knowns in there. I'm kind of down to my last couple of items that I need. But there is a long list of items. So there's the miniature Winterveil tree, which is rumored to be a $3.95 item for this year. So you could end up getting a $3.95. It is a weapon. I did loot one on my luck during this event yesterday, and it was a dagger. And they are also BOE, so they can be sold. And so there is that. There's the Illusion Flames of Rag, Illusion Winter's Grasp. Winter's Grasp is a higher chance. I've gotten tons of those and none of the Flames of Rag, so it's definitely a higher chance there. There's the Winterveil Sweater and the Fruitcake. And Red Rider Air Rifle. There's the plans for the Edge of Winter, which is that is a blacksmith. And then there's the plans for the enchant weapon Winter's Might. For pets, there are 4 pets you can get, and one is Lumpy. He drops as a lump of coal, but when you learn him, he becomes Lumpy. And then there's the blue Clockwork Rocket Bot and the Clockwork Rocket Bot, and then also the Rodden Helper Box. The Helper Box is pretty easy, and the other 2 are pretty easy. I'm still working on getting Lumpy, the lump of coal, which I believe is only a couple of years old. I don't remember it being in the picture for too long. Now for the long list of toys. Toys is what is mainly in these gifts. So here is the list. It's going to take me a minute to go over it. There is the toy armor set. That was the special gift for 2018. There's the Hearth Station, which was the special gift last year. The snow blower, which is a special gift for 2016. Disposable Winterveil suits, which was also a 2016 gift. Red woolen sled. Then there's 2 rag dolls, which is blue and green. They can be bought from the toy vendors. The controllers, there's a bunch of them. There is the Flamer controller, Shredder controller, Flyer, the blue Crash and Trash and Race controller, and just the Crash and Trash and Racer controller. The blue one can be bought from toy vendors. And then there's the mini Zep controller, the wind-up train wrecker, which can be bought from toy vendors, as well as the toy train set. And there is also a few cushions, well, 4 of them. The fuzzy green, Zephyra, pineapple, and safari. And there's the scroll of storytelling, pigskin, and the football. So those are all the toys. If you want a few extra pets, the Draenor thing that I will be going over in a bit, there are additional pets. And actually, I'll just wait till we get to that section, and I'll let you know then. That way I'm not really confusing you with the areas here. As far as some of the other items go, there are some items that only come from that one time per event. basically the first time you do the You're a Mean One quest, which is the quest you saw me do just a bit ago in the video here, you'll get a follow-up that is called Smokywood Pastures Thank You. And in that follow-up is where you get some of the items I've mentioned, and I'll tell you which items those are. So this is a one-time per character thing. So if you want these items, you have to do this on alts. There's like no other way, because it's only once you get this follow-up quest. So the items that come from this follow-up, because it will come out of the Smokywood Pasture special gift, which, like I said, you only get one. And the items is the Flame of Rag. So if you want that, that has to be done on an alt. And the Winter's Grasp, the enchanting pattern for the Winter's Might. There's also an engineer pattern, the Snowmaster 9000. There's the blacksmith pattern, the Edge of Winter, and also the there's a leatherworking pattern, which is Gloves of the Grandfather. And then there's also an alchemy pattern, which is Elixir of Frost Power. And then the final thing you can get from there is also a tailoring pattern, which is for the Green Holiday shirt. Now, in my personal opinion, I would only really focus that quest if you need the illusions. The illusions are bind on pickup and a tough drop rate from my experience anyway. So, like Winter's Grasp, you'll probably for sure get that one, but Flames of Rag seems to be a tough one. So I would only do it if you need those ones. The reason I say that is because all the patterns are BOE. So you could find these patterns on the auction house if you need them. But the illusion, you won't find that. So in other words, just farm it for the illusion and buy the rest. You know, you might even find people that are just giving them away, because I always get these patterns and I like throw them in the guild bank for the guildies. So yeah. And that covers all the gifts for here. Okay, so next up we have the Draenor Christmas event. So this is an event that obviously came out in WOD, and it is another way to get some of the Christmas supplies. So basically, if you're Alliance, you will see an NPC called Almi, and if you're Horde, you will see an NPC called Pizzle. Those NPCs will be in the middle of your garrison, and they offer you 4 daily Christmas quests. And you can earn 6 merry supplies every day by doing these daily quests. The reason to do these quests would be for 2 things. Well, 3, I guess. The first is if you wanted to decorate your garrison, you can do so. I feel like that's probably not really important to people now, though. Maybe when it was WOD, but now people probably don't care. Like, I've never really bought. I think I bought a couple when it was WOD, but other than that. And the second would be that the Crash and Trash and Killdozer controller is sold by that vendor. So you could buy that for 5 merry supplies, which means you'd farm for 1 day to get the controller. And then the big one is the mount. It is called Minion of Grumpus. I will show you on screen here. And this mount goes for 100,000 gold to 150,000 gold. I've seen it like lately on the server. It's been going for 125,000 on mine anyway. So it is a very good mount to go after. 1, if you don't have it, it's a great mount to just own. And 2, you can get it again. It's not, you know, you don't just loot it once. You do have a chance to loot it multiple times. And it's a great gold seller. And honestly, if I wasn't going out of town for 2 weeks, I'd be doing that for my gold challenge. But I just won't be here. And yeah. Yeah, and in order to get the Minion of Grumpus, you also will need to spend your merry supplies on the Savage gift that's in the vendor item. So definitely remember that it's the Savage gift that has the chance to drop the mount. And also the Savage gift can drop the Killdozer. So what I would almost do is, if you're after the Killdozer, maybe just wait till the end. See if the Savage gift, like, you know, does it for you. And if it doesn't, then purchase it. So yeah, that's what I would do. And actually, I believe that's what I did do the year I decided to grab the Killdozer. And just to help you guys out a little more with this quest, here is a map. This is the area that you are going to go to. So all 4 of these quests are done in Frost Ridge or Frostfire Ridge. I'm going to circle where you would go. The coordinates are 4628. And like I said, all 4 quests are done in that same area. So it's really handy. It seems like it's out of the way because it's Draenor, but it takes like no time at all to do these. Trying it out until I leave, because I leave on Saturday. So I'm thinking maybe I'll like use the next few days to see if I happen to get them out. Okay, so next up we have what is new for this year's Winterveil. Okay, so the new thing is this sled that you see me hopping on here. This is the new thing. I was kind of upset with this one, to be honest, because when I first saw it, I'm like, ooh, is this like, do we get a sled mount, or is there a toy that drops at the end of the ride? I really thought we would get something from it. I didn't think it was just there to be there, you know? So while it is cool, I feel like it's underwhelming. You know what I mean? And so it is cool if you want to just hop on. It's easy to get onto. You can hop on the reindeer, or you can hop into the sled itself. And it just takes you for a ride around Ironforge. You can do the same for Horde in Orgrimmar, so it'll take you around Orgrimmar. And yeah, and then it ends its path right where you get on. So you can either hop off of it in mid-flight, or you can wait till it comes back. It never goes really high up in the air, so if you want to hop on or hop off in mid-flight, you're not going to die or anything. Like, it's not a far jump down. And yeah. Another new thing for this year is over in Eternal Palace, Blackwater Behemoth is dressed up all festive, which means that you could loot, a Santa hat from him. That's basically how it works. So if you're in any dungeon or any raid and you see that the boss has a hat, then you can do that. They do keep, like, the old ones. So, like, if you're remembering someone from, say, Legion that had a hat on, that mob will still have a hat on. They just add new ones, like, as, new content comes out when Christmas rolls out. So, for this Christmas, the new one is Blackwater Behemoth. I think that's a great one to pick, honestly, because Blackwater Behemoth is the second boss in the raid. So even if you're like complete trash, you can get to Blackwater Behemoth, which means pugs could get to that boss, right? So it's a boss you don't have to pretty much clear an entire raid to get to. And and you can easily get to them. Pug raids can typically get to at least the 4th boss. So the only problem that I see is that if you are doing the raid to seriously do the raid, you may lose a bunch of people at Behemoth, but oh well, right? Another thing is this Globe Yeti. This one isn't new. It's been out for a couple of years, but it's more frequent now, so it's easier to get at. And I just happened to be like putzing around inside this globe and I saw it running around, so I grabbed it. Unfortunately, it took me a couple of tries because the first time I grabbed it, I didn't realize that I was over my limit by like 4 pets. So I couldn't capture it, and a lot of the time I just think that's a bug, right? I don't even think about the fact that I might be over my limit, so I had to go do it again after I had caged some pets so that I could capture it. For starters, Globe Yeti is a level 1 pet, so you definitely want to get level 1 in there. Since you're just caging him, you don't have to, if you've got a team of 25s, just change your first pet to level 1. You don't necessarily have to change them all to level 1, because you're literally going to throw 1 or 2 attacks and then cage, so you don't even need the other pets. Prior to what it's at now, Globe Yeti used to spawn 1 Globe Yeti every 30 minutes, which was pretty fucking ridiculous because when it was new, everyone wanted it, right? And people would be fighting over that 30-minute marker, and it just was rough. Now, I've witnessed him come back out after I've captured him, and it's pretty frequent. So if you want him, just hang out in the globe. There's only there's just 1, but I captured him and then I saw him reappear 5 minutes later. So it's really not a long wait. It could be if you're on a busy server and there's a lot of people there, but it's definitely better than it was before. It's not a 30-minute wait time anymore. Here's what he looks like. And also another thing I didn't think of till I was editing the video is that this might be another moneymaker. I didn't check to see if you could cage him, but I'm pretty sure you probably can. So you could grab enough, cage a couple, and then maybe go sell them after the event's done. While the event's done is while the event's going is a bad time because they can literally go after him at that point, but he only shows up during Christmas, so I would capture him and then just set him aside in my bank until maybe mid-year or something and then sell him. Okay, so now for the part that probably most of you guys are here for. So hopefully with that said, you did follow the timestamps. Although I do appreciate all of you that do watch my full videos. But, because it was a bit of a longer video, I did timestamp. Which I did mention at the beginning of the video. So I'm not trolling you here by telling you only at the end. This is supposed to be part of... Well, actually, I'm not even sure if supposed to be is the right word because they never claimed that this was going to be part of the Christmas event. What happened here is people discovered it over on the PTR. And because they discovered it on the PTR prior to Christmas events starting, it ended up making people think that it would be part of the Christmas event. So normally I wouldn't say that I think it's going to be on the 25th because Blizzard's usually really good at keeping the special gift for the 25th hush hush. But I will tell you why I think we are going to see this on the 25th. The reason I think this is because we see it over on the PTR, and the way the PTR works is it shows the items that you would see when the PTR becomes part of retail. A great example is last PTR. We saw the Draenor mounts for time walking. We didn't have the time walking yet for Draenor, but the mounts were there. And then the PTR went live, and a couple of months later, Draenor showed up and people were able to get their mounts, right? So the way I look at it is whatever you see on the PTR is what you would see when it's live, which means they can't wait a year to put this costume out, because in January, when that PTR goes live, we realistically should already have that costume sitting in our collection. So hopefully that brings some hope to you guys. This is not confirmed info, but that is just the way that the PTR goes. You typically don't see items that you wouldn't see when it goes live. So that is why I personally believe that we are going to see this costume at some point this Christmas. And the only thing that's a mystery during Christmas is the gift on the 25th. They don't just randomly put out another one, within the holidays. Like it's always the 25th that's the absolute new item. There is another option, and I think this would be really cool as an option, but what I was thinking would be a cool idea is it's not the gift on the 25th. We get something else that's cool. And then because we have the sled, Pepe's like in the sled. I thought that would be a really cool function, because the way these costumes go is you always collect the costume yourself by clicking on him, right? So I personally believe that the way we should get this costume is he should be in the back of the sled, say on Christmas Day, and you hop in the sled and you click on Pepe when you're in the back of the sled, and that's how you get his costume. Now, that's going to make the sled ride a hell of a more busier. Right now, it's been easy to kind of get on the sled because it's literally there for nothing. But maybe, just maybe, it's not there for nothing. Maybe that is what's going to happen on Christmas Day. I personally think it would be an awesome idea. Obviously something I just came up with on a whim here. So, if it's not there, if that's not how it goes, don't blame me. I'm just being creative over here. And I just think that would be the perfect way, just because you always click on him, right? And what better place for him to be than to be at the back of the sled. Granted, there's another option. He could be on Great-Grandfather Winter's shoulders, and you click Great-Grandfather Winter to get him. But I personally think the sled would be the better option. Yeah. So that's just my idea and my take on this. But like I said, this is not confirmed. We don't even know if we're getting this costume this year. At this point, it's only on the PTR and we're just hoping. I decided to also add this picture in because the other picture doesn't really do it justice, because you don't see the back of the costume. I think the back of the costume's the best part because, you know, as like the beard obviously is a great part, but the gift on the back, I personally think that's the best part. And that concludes today's video. It was definitely a more lengthy video than I expected. Reason for that is that I went over every little part of the Christmas event. The only thing I didn't go over was the achievement list, but the achievements are so easy that it's not really something that needs to go over. And I hope you get everything you're farming for this year. And I hope we get a cool new Christmas gift on the 25th. And we will see you in the next video. Merry Christmas, guys. Have a great Happy New Year's. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.